Hey everybody, so this is a bit of a deck tech before I start playing. I'm going to play 5 rounds in like just the traditional ranked. Um, I've got this weird Rakdos deck that I found. I did find it online. It's not something that I made up by myself, but it does reasonably well. Um, the deck that I'm looking at has Lurus of the Dream Den as your companion, which, if you don't know what companions are, it's a card in your sideboard that you can cast. Basically, it's an eighth card in your hand. It's a lot of fun to play with. It's really messed up, though, how kind of broken, if you play these cards or play these decks right, how broken the decks are. So you got Lyris of Dreams Den, which says each permanent card in your starting deck has to have a converted mana cost of 2 or less. So every permanent that I play in this deck has to be 2 or less. So how do we completely ruin somebody with, or completely break this card? You play Witch's Oven, Cauldron Familiar. That's, two 1-drops that are just absolutely insane together. Knight of the Ebon Legion. This one's great because it's a 1-drop, but it turns into a beast later in the game. It's a good one to have for those longer games because you're playing you're playing 2 or less cards, or 2 or less converted mana cost cards. Serrated Scorpion is another one. I kind of underestimated this card, but when you get going with Lurus and being able to cast him out of the graveyard, that is something that I just forgot. During each of your turns, you may cast a 1 permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard. Gross. So you sacrifice Serrated Scorpion to the Witch's Oven. Serrated Scorpion says when it dies, deal 2 damage to each opponent, you gain 2 life. Claim the Firstborn is great for, mixed with Witch's Oven. Any 1-drops are gone. Basically, 1, 2, 3 drops are gone. Somebody plays a Mayhem Devil. Is it Mayhem Devil? Yeah. The dude where you sacrifice thing, or where if you sacrifice something, it, deal a damage to whatever. You claim the Firstborn it, sacrifice it when you're done. Next card's Mire Triton. Mire Triton's fantastic mixed with Croxa, because Mire Triton drops 2 cards into your graveyard. You gain 2 life, and it's a 2/1 with Death Touch for 2 or for 1 and a black, which is fantastic. Priest of the Forgotten Gods has ironically kind of gotten forgotten as of late. It's still sacrifice 2 creatures. Hi, my name's Cauldron Familiar, and I come back with Witch's Oven. Or Dreadhorde Butcher, which is also nuts. So you tap it, sacrifice 2 other creatures. Any number of target players each lose 2 life, sack a creature. You get 2 mana and draw a card. You can't really mess with that, It's a wonderful card in this deck. Yeah, if you're not playing Sacrifice, not so great. Dreadhorde Butcher is one of my favorite cards to come out of... Can't remember the name of the set off the top of my head, but to come out of the set that it's from. It's a 1/1 for red and a black with haste, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Then when it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to anything. So planeswalkers, creatures, somebody's face. It's great. You get it up to a 2/2, 3/3. It becomes a big threat easily, and it has to be exiled to take care of it. Croxa is Croxa. Sack it, or when it enters battlefield, sacrifice it unless it escaped. When it enters battlefield or attacks, they discard a card, or opponent discards a card. If they didn't discard a non-land, so if they discard a land, they lose 3 life. They kind of worded that terribly. Like, they should have just said each opponent who didn't discard a land loses 3 life. And then for 2 black, 2 red, and exile 5 cards from your graveyard, comes back. You're not exiling exiling cards from your graveyard. War of the Spark. Thank you, Brian. You're not exiling cards from your graveyard a lot because it's you want to be able to pull cards out of your graveyard with Luris and this boy right here. Return up to 2 target, or it's Call of the Death Dweller. Return up to 2 target creature cards with total converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard. Put a Death Touch counter on either of them and a Menace counter on either of them. So this plays really, really well with Dreadhorde Butcher because Death Touch, the ability says that when you deal 1 damage, it's considered lethal damage. So a 1/1 with haste, swings, they use a kill spell on it, you still get to kill their thing. Last card before the lands is Light Up the Stage. And Light Up the Stage is great. You're swinging with a lot of 1/1s. You've got Cauldron Familiar going. So a lot of the times you're casting this card for 1. You exile the top 2 cards of your library, which doesn't sound great. But you basically have 2 extra cards in your hand because you get to cast them whenever you want. Then we go on to the lands. Castle Lochthwain is great. Your hand empties out and you've got a lot of mana. Pay 1 double black and tap it. Draw a card, then lose life equal to the number of cards in your hand. You do end up, they call it Hellbent as far as the game goes. Means you have no cards in your hand. Great thing to just kind of refuel. Swamps, mountains, blood crypts. Fabled Passage is great. Gets you either a swamp or a mountain. If you got 4 lands, comes in to play untapped. We'll go over to the sideboard here real quick so you can see what the sideboard looks like. So obviously we only have 14 cards in the sideboard, really, because the 15th card is our companion. So we have 2 Elder Spell because you don't have you can't play permanents like, Murderous Rider and stuff like that, which are great for removing Planeswalkers. So you go Elder Spell, you can get rid of as many Planeswalkers as you need to. It's great against those Planeswalker decks. Embereth Shieldbreaker destroys an artifact, so it, good against a mirror, like gets rid of opposing Witch's Ovens, any other artifacts that you come up with that are a pain. Cry of the Carnarium. It's a rough one in this deck. I haven't actually found a point where I really want to use it, but you exile all the creatures that died, right? Farika's Libation, I guess this would be good against like token, just regular token decks, because when you cast this, you could sacrifice your stuff. Farika's Libation is great. Target opponent sacrifices a creature or enchantment. It's good there's a lot of enchantment decks floating around. Act of Treason is Act of Treason. Like, it just, for the bigger creatures that you can't really grab with Claim the Firstborn, and then Extinction Event. So you choose odd or even mana cost. If you run into an Obosh deck, which Obosh makes you play all odd converted mana cost cards, exile each creature with converted mana cost of the chosen value. So it's a fantastic card against decks like that. The one thing that I'm kind of thinking that I would like to see in here, I'm going to continue to try this as it is. I may end up trying to find a spot for Angrath's Rampage, because I love that card. And it's a red and a black, and you can make them sacrifice an artifact, a planeswalker, or a creature, which I feel like is a better alternative than the Elder Spell, because you're not playing any planeswalkers to take full advantage of the Elder Spell. But this is the deck. I'm going to play it as it is. I'm going to play 5 rounds of traditional standard and see how I do. If my drafts earlier were any indication, it's not going to be good. But we'll have some fun and see what happens. We're going up against Splattershot. That's gross. And you always want to play first in this style of deck. I'm going to mulligan this because I've got a Castle Lochthwain. We're playing against Urian, so he's going to be just going, wow. Really? Holy monkey. Okay, so we're going to get rid of that, and a Serrated Scorpion, I guess. I don't know what the good option is here right now. I think it might even be just claim the... I don't think we're going to be seeing any firstborns getting unclaimed. So I think that's the way that I'm going. I am getting, like... I'm having terrible luck with anything relating to... anything relating to anything right now. Gonna just send the Fabled Passage right now, grab a mountain. Oof, the game's starting to lag. But this is already a rough start. I mean, I am getting things like Mire Triton and stuff like that. We'll see what... This is either Growth Spiral or Omen of the Sea. Yeah, that was the other one that I was thinking of. I'm kind of hoping I see a third land. Like, that would be great. Because it would be great to kind of just be able to start putting things together. I want to see a third land before I cast the other Mire Triton. This guy's having much better luck than I am. He's probably shipping somebody back to my hand. Well, that's fine. We'll get rid of... Well, that's not the third land that I wanted to see. So we're going to go ahead and... We're going to go here, and then we're going to go here. Oh, fuck. So, I mean, I need one more black mana, and I've got... Or one more black mana, and I've got Kroxa going, which would be solid. But this deck's still an aggro deck. You want to be swinging as often as possible. If he wants to cast another Teferi and bounce the thing back to my hand, that's fine. I'm not going to make the mistake this time, and so I'm going to go activate his ability. This one's going to attack here. This one's going to attack you in the face. And this is what I was talking about with Knight of Ebon Legion. Like, when he gets going, it's really, really easy to... It's really easy for him to get out of hand. I have 5 cards in the graveyard other than Kroxa. Well, I'm going to have to... I honestly have to do it this way. I'm going to play him, swing both. You're tapped out, so I'm going to go ahead and activate my ability. I know I'm not going to get the, like, pump from it, but I got rid of him being able to exile everything and just keep bringing it back, and that's when that deck gets, or that's when that card gets really, really bonkers, is when he can just continue that exile cycle, and It gets really, really bad when you have this is another one that I'm a little worried about. Cavalier Thorns is not a nice boy. I think what I'm going to do, well, I can't really do that one. I kind of just want to make him block. Because if I swing with... If I go to combat and I swing with everything, he has to pick one of them to block. He's going to pick the bigger one. Which means I either... I have to just activate his ability. Because he's going to play Urian again. Or he's not going to exile at all. But we'll see. Playing up against a control deck, too, is kind of rough with this deck. It just... can exile a permanent, so he's going to play the Time Raveler, and he has the mana to play it. Oh, Agent of Treachery? Really? Fuck. Well. Does that change what I'm doing? It doesn't really. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go like this. Yep. Urian's still in his graveyard. We'll see what happens. Because he's either going to bounce the Priest of the Forgotten Gods back to my hand, or he's going to basically tap out. I'm going to play Cauldron Familiar, I think. Do I go Luris? Oof. Oof. Big oof. What can I not play him out of my graveyard right now? I'm confused. You cast a non-creature spell. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tap this, targeting him. I'm gonna sacrifice the two of those. He's gonna have to sacrifice my creature. Take 6. That's fine. Okay, he's not going to sacrifice my creature. Also fine. Or he's going to sacrifice my creature. So, I think I want to force the issue and just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to play... Well, I didn't actually intend to use my timeout, so thanks. Oh! Dirt? Well, that worked out well. So he's playing walkers, so Elder Spell's pretty good. Trying to think of what I want to take out, though. Cry the Carnarium's not going to matter. So we've got 2 Elder Spells coming in. I feel like Claim the Firstborn is not a good option for him right now. I almost think those 2 on Odd, and that's my sideboard. I don't know. I haven't actually played a lot against this particular deck. I haven't played a lot against a lot of decks in multiple games, or the regular standard, but we'll see how this goes. A Blood Crypt. Yeah, that seems good. I've got access to Luris on turn 3. Thing that I like is he's playing a slower deck, so we're going to be able to get going pretty quickly. I think my turn 2 is going to be Witch's Oven and Serrated Scorpion. Because turn 3, I can go Butcher, swing everything, sack Serrated Scorpion to the Witch's Oven, and pump him without having to do anything else. And then we get, well, that changes everything, because we're going to go Cauldron Familiar into Witch's Oven, and then go right to punching him in the face. I appreciate everybody hanging out this long too. I know normally I'm kind of thinking about getting done right now, but where I'm doing this video, I'm gonna probably play it out for at least best of 3. I might go to best of 5, or like just see what my record for best of 5 is. I'm going to go ahead and sack him, do the little sacrificey combo-y thing that he can't do anything about right now. The great part is you get like something like Serrated Scorpion out. You can then just change what you're using, like change what you use to sacrifice. So you play Serrated Scorpion. Now you can sack Serrated Scorpion and use Cauldron Familiar to block, which is fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to swing out. Like with the Witch's Oven or combined with Luris, like you're going to see it, if it even lasts that long, you're going to see it kind of just go off. You're only slightly dying right now. Yeah, I'd imagine that you would be if you got, like, if it agreed or didn't agree with you that much, dude. I'm going to go ahead and let Omen of the... I can't really stop Omen of the Sea from resolving. I don't know why they do, like... Hey, do you want to let it resolve? It's like, I can't. I'm not playing the blue. I do not have the spell of decountering. I cannot do this. I am also not the best Magic player, so I'm going to make mistakes in the game. So that's... Oh, I can react to the artifact. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Okay. Each opponent loses 1 life. You gain 1 life. Okay. Each opponent cannot draw more than 1 card each turn. That's fine. I'm not really drawing much in the way of cards. Devout Decree. Exile target Planeswalker that's red, scry 1. Oh look, you're all tapped out. I'm going to go ahead and just do the Cauldron Familiar combo. And then we're going to Fabled Passage, and this is going to be pretty close to game if I do it right, because that's 2. I'm going to go get... and go ahead and grab this. Go get a swamp. We're going to... You're all tapped out. So I'm going to pump this guy. I'm just going to go face. And then play Knight of the Ebon Legion. And then end the turn. And then we'll see what he does. If he board wipes, he loses. And if he targets something to try to exile it to avoid taking damage, I'm obviously going to sacrifice it with Witch's Oven. Because that's the only answer that he's got right now. And it's a sorcery speed, so like Dreadhorde Butcher, I could sacrifice so he takes... Yeah. And there's a concede. The great part when you're playing best of 3 standard is you get or if you win 2 games, you get four blips on your creature spells. Deal 2 damage to enters the battlefield under your control. Deals 2 damage to it. If it's a dinosaur was dealt damage this way, he gets... Oh yeah, I forgot about that dude. We're going up against Thomas Two-Step. Well, I can't keep that, but I can keep this. I feel like I'm going to keep 6 and just send Claim down. It's going to really suck if I don't get another land, which I didn't, because I'm going to have to go like this first. If I get another land, this hand is going to just kind of go bonkers, because I've got... Oh boy, we're playing... Yep. Well, it's not the way that I wanted to get the land, but we'll go and do our thing and get a Swampy Boy. And then I'm going to sacrifice... wait, no, I'm not going to use that right now. I'm not going to be dumb. Lucky Clover. Ooh, we're going Lucky Clover route? Jeez, you are emptying your hand out. Holy. Which makes it really, really good for that card right there. I may choose a non-creature card from outside of the game. I'm going to go ahead and get my engine going here. Croxa. Normally I would think of playing... I don't know what he has in his hand. Oh, he's taking 3 because he's got Fey Wishes in his hand. But he's got no land, which is rough. I'm obviously not going to attack because there's no point. Oh, now he can pick something from outside the game and copy the ability. That's gross. What is he grabbing? So we got what? Return to nature. Yep. Sorcerer's Spyglass. Really? Wow. I'm going to go ahead and get the most out of this that I can because he's going to take that ability away from me here pretty soon. I'm going to make him make a decision right now because I can go like this and I can go like this. Because now he's going to need to decide if he's going to the thing that I hate about Sorcerer's Spyglass is he can like target your companion dude that is sitting in your graveyard, or not your graveyard, your sideboard thing. So they know that you're playing activated abilities of Witch's Oven can't be activated. Yeah, that's fine. I can still make your day real bad. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and target any number of players. I'm going to go Bink. Bink. Keep my Death Touchy, bro. You're going to take 2. I'm going to gain 2. You're going to sacrifice creature, lose some life. Of course, that's going to be what that's going to be. And then we're going to Lurrus. Because why not? Because then I can just continue. I might not be able to... Yeah, go get your land. Yeah, gain 3 life, draw a card, put a thing into the thing. Jeez. What do I have in the graveyard? Oof. Big oof. We're going to go from my hand, from the graveyard, target, dink, dink, doesn't really matter. Yeah, this is it starts becoming just kind of like a vicious cycle with Lurrus. If they can't get rid of it, he's going to get rid of it now, but that's fine. but I still have card that I can cast. So I'm going to go this, right? And then I'm going to sack. Yeah, he's going to get his... I mean, I can't do much about it. He's got a lot of shenanigans going on here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to go like that. Then I'm going to pay red for that. Play a Fabled Passage. Play this. Go activate the Fabled Passage. Go get a Swamp. Play a Knight of Ebon Legion. Right? It's before 10 p.m. Oh, God. Yeah, you can attack. That's fine. Do you trample? I guess I'm just going to block. Nope. 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 No blocks. No blocks. I don't even know what he has in his hand. That's the worst part right now. Because I don't know what he has in his hand. Like, oh, fuck. This deck is weird. Yep, Storm's Wrath. And show. That's, like... I hate this card. Because... now I can go like the... Like, I don't really think that I have a good matchup for this particular deck. Just because there's so many, like, he's got access to his entire sideboard right out of the gate. Cards in his graveyard, 5, 14. Yeah, okay. Yep. the Lucky Clover, or the freaking 2 copies of Fae of Wishes real early is just disgusting. I think I'm just going to concede this one and go on to game 2. Yay, the neck problems! We'll be able to hear about it tomorrow. So... I don't want to do even. I don't want to do that because I feel like these 2 come in. 2 of these go out. Claim, actually, I can just take out, claim the firstborn. We're going to put in an act of treason. We're going to, actually, I think we will go down one of those. Down a Call the Death Dweller. Do I want to go Elder Spell, Freaka's Libation? He didn't play enchantments, he didn't really play creatures. I want to make sure that he doesn't play... Yeah. I'm going to be on the play with a 7-card hand that I can't keep and a 6-card hand that I can. I'm not going to have a play on turn 1, but I'm going to keep 6 anyway. I'm going to send... Oof. I feel like I'm sending Serrated Scorpion down. And then I'm going to go... Get a swamp. I forgot to put my fancy lands in this deck too. That makes me sad. Hi. There? I think I'm still going Witch's Oven, Ebon Legion. I feel like 3 fits better for him right now. Because if he blocks it, I can take out 2 creatures. Like 2 Edgewall Innkeepers. Because he's going to have to make that choice. Because it's not a card that you want, or Dreadhorde Butcher is not a card that you want to hang around. So let's see what he decides to do. Okay. The problem that I'm at now is that I want to get rid of one of these Edgewall Innkeepers because I don't want it hanging around. Because Edgewall Innkeepers, if they get going, are... If you have 2 of them and you're drawing 2 cards every friggin' turn, it's not going to end well for the person that you're playing against. Which is me. It's not going to end well for me. I don't like things not ending well for me, so, you know. Oof. Wheel. Let's go. That guy into Croxa. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm okay with that. I have 3 in the yard right now. I'll be 4-5. That's fine. I can't do anything about him getting land. Jesus. so much land. Well, that's not good. I feel like 2 in the yard is better than... Oh! Oh! You want to get irritated? Do I sack the guy for the food? Yes, I do. Yes, in fact, I do. I mean, Crux is live if I get a mana. That's fine. Doesn't have trample, so... No. I will, however, go... Okay. Okay. Wait, how many... Oh, fuck. Okay. Really? Fuck this. I don't like this at all. And I am going to have to make sure when I post this video on YouTube that I put in that it's that there's some foul language. Yeah, so this game is just a... I'm going to just give it up because he got way too ahead of me way too fast, and I couldn't do anything about it. So we're going to go and see if I win a Game 3. They got the guy who played Jango Fett to play Boba Fett for a small part. Nice. I can't wait for the next season of The Mandalorian to come out. It was such a surprise of a show. This one's going to be my last game for this video, I guess. I didn't realize that the games were going to go this long, so... Which I should have. I've played Magic before. I'm going to mulligan. Wow, this would be a great hand if I got 2 land. So getting rid of 2. So I get rid of Ebon Legion and Croxa, I guess. And keep the 2 land. I kind of want to just do this, though. I'm on the play. So actually, yeah, I'm gonna go like that and see what happens. I'm probably gonna regret it. Yeah, I figured they'd already be working on season 3. I'm gonna play that and take the 2 damage. And play Cauldron Familiar and get that going. Because worst thing that happens is I Witch's Oven, light up the stage, or Witch's Oven, smack, light up the stage. Which looks like that's what it's going to be. Witch's Oven. Punch. Light up the stage. Risen Reef into the worst possible place for a Risen Reef to be. I'm going to go ahead and play that. Swing. Yep. Okay. Normally I would just leave him alone, or I wouldn't sacrifice the Dreadhorde Butcher, but because it's a Risen Reef, I don't know what that elemental deck is going to do. What did I end up exiling? Oh, the Mire Triton. It is what it is. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice him. Get this going more. We're going to go... So we've got 2 red, 2 black, or 2 red, so it doesn't really matter which one I grab. I'm going to go Luris to get him out there. And then I'm going to go ahead and... No, I'm not going to attack because there's no point. I'm going to sack him. Use his ability. Light up the stage. Sack him. Ability again. That's fine. So let's go. That's when he enters the battlefield. Okay. No attacks. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Continue this little vicious cycle of just draining him for life. Because I don't even need to, like, I don't even need to attack right now. Done. He can attack for whatever he wants to. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Do your blocks. So first thing I'm gonna do is do the old so I drew one. I'm gonna play one and sack this food. Resolve that. I'm gonna go get another swamp. And then I'm gonna go draw card with Castle Lochthwain. And draw 2 more cards with Castle Lochthwain. This is terrible. I'm gonna go ahead and attack, I guess? That's fine. I didn't even realize I was still in I was still able to do the combat thing. This is the most irritating part of playing against this deck, is just watching all of that stuff happen and not being able to do anything about it. So he was playing odd and even, so it doesn't really matter there. I didn't see any artifacts. I'm almost tempted to just leave this. Maybe put 2 of these in. Get rid of 2, claim the firstborn. It'd either be... Nope. We'll go with that and get rid of 2, claim the firstborn. And that's going to be the whole thing, because I really don't feel like there's much of a sideboard that I can play right off the bat. So we'll see how this one goes. This would be a good hand if you had switched one of those light up the stages out for another land. This is a hand. I think I'm getting rid of one of the serrated scorpions. I think that's the one that makes the most sense. Yep, and then I'm going to go pay 2 life, play a Knight of the Ebon Legion. The good thing about like Knight, anytime that they play it, is if a player lost more than 4 life this turn. Okay. I feel like this is the right play. Get more cards out of his hand. Because I'm already going to be at... I know he's not getting any green, which makes it even better for me. So I can go that one into that one. I can make him use a removal spell on Priest of the Forgotten Gods. I should have gone... So... I'm probably going to end up... I don't have enough cards in the graveyard to make... so I'm going to go like this. I should have done this the other way, but it is what it is. Because, like, the cool thing about this now, right, is I can sacrifice both of these dudes. And then I can have Knight of the Ebon Legion come back. And he immediately turns into a 2/3. Seems like a pretty good. So we're going to I feel like the one that makes the most sense is I want to cast Croxa, but the Serrated Scorpion makes the most sense because then I can go Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Dink, dink. Before we even go to combat, and I don't need the Elder Spell for anything right now because that's the way that is. So that's game. So that's going to be the end of that for the evening. You know, almost making it out of Silver Tier 3. I know it's 9:30. I'm probably going to actually I'm going to end this video for that deck. Thank you guys for hanging out. If you want to subscribe, it's right in it's somewhere around the screen. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not looking at YouTube right now. Please go ahead and like the video if you enjoyed it. And I will probably catch you guys next week with some more. I might have a different deck to play, or I might still be working with this guy. So I will catch you guys in the next one.